Hello and welcome to another NECA review. Today we look at more classic Ninja Turtles 90s movie figures. Today we have two foot soldiers, Shredder and Splinter. These just... NECA is on the roll right now. All of the Ninja Turtle stuff just looks so awesome, and even though I wasn't originally considering picking up anything from the second movie, the articulated eyebrows for Toka, that's cool. That's awesome. That's really cool, and that's also something I noticed with a Crayon Shinchan Nendor that's coming out. He also has like articulated eyebrows. That just gives them so much more expression without having extra pieces or without like swappable faces, extra pieces that to put into it. It's genius. It's great. So I might have to pick up a Toka eraser. I don't know. It depends how expensive it's going to be, but knowing NECA, they honestly are quite affordable, all of their figures. I just filmed the NECA Rhino Alien, like definitely official one, that was still quite cheap for the size of it, so who knows, maybe the big ones from them are going to be quite cheap. I will mention that I'm probably not going to pick up the Casey Jones and Raphael set because Casey Jones will have the face mask and I don't need a second Raphael. If I do end up picking it up because I just see it in the shop and I was like, oh, might as well get it, then I'll be keeping that Raphael, and the original Raphael can go because they're literally the same figure, just one has a trench coat and a hat, which it is really cool, but space and money, I don't know, I'm conflicted with that one right now. But anyway, back to the figures we have at hand today. Basically, these are the figures that were originally sold in a 4-pack from like a Comic-Con, and the only difference here is, well, the figures are the same, and I think there's some minor color difference between them, which is probably just a factory thing. It's not like a specific design thing that they've done, oh, let's make the colors different. The Comic-Con exclusive pack also came with a weapons rack, as well as a few paper cardboards that you can fold into like little crates. So you can have like Splinter chained up to the wall, which yes, they also come with some little arm chains as well, which we don't have here. But what we do have instead is, I think Splinter here also has an extra slice of pizza, and the foot soldiers have extra sets of hands just between them so they can hold off the items. So if you just pick up one foot soldier, he can still hold on to the item. Whereas in the original Comic-Con pack, there are less hands because they share the hands between them. So there are bits and pieces here and there that are good on both sides, but whatever. There's no way I'm going to be picking up the Comic-Con one because that's way too expensive, and you know, people just scalp the prices, and I'm just happy enough to have a really good Shredder and a really good Splinter figure from the movies. So if you like what you see in this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the little bell icon where you'll be notified of many other figure reviews on this channel. Real figures, fake figures, Lego, fake Lego, and transformation toys, all on this channel if you like it. Do be sure to support this channel by leaving a comment below how you feel about these figures, sharing this video with other people, watching with adblock turned off, supporting on Patreon. But as always, I am thankful for you for watching this channel anyway. Without further ado, let's take a look at these figures. So here we are with our figures. I'm just going to put Mikey there just for a size comparison. You can see he's pretty much the same height as Shredder right there. So our foot soldiers there, whoop, ruler's the wrong way around, is exactly 7 inches tall, which that means is exactly 15.5 centimeters. Shredder here is, with his horn, is a little bit taller at 18 and a bit centimeters, and so he's 7.1 inches, whatever. Splinter here is 5 inches, and just for comparison, Mikey here is just under 7 inches. So that makes Splinter 12 and 8 centimeters tall. So I'm just going to take Mikey away from there for now because we're not looking at him today. So our foot soldiers, both of them are pretty much the same. The only thing difference between them is the accessories. So let's go through those first. In terms of accessories for our first foot soldier here, apart from the fist already attached to his hands, he also has a pair of spray open hands and a pair of item holding hands, as well as a different headscarf in a slightly different position. The other foot soldier has the exact same hands and headband. In terms of weapons, one of the foot soldiers here, he comes with a pair of scythes. These are molded slightly different than the turtle ones, as these ones also have a band like molded into the handlebar, not as much as the Raphael ones. I think these looks very similar, but I think they're slightly different. The katana is definitely different, as this one doesn't have any straps molded to the handlebars, like flat black, unlike Leonardo's one, which has the straps. And he also has this weapon, which only appears, I think, in one scene in the middle of the movie. This one's the one that gets electrocuted and sets fire to April O'Neil's flat, I believe, if I remember correctly. It goes into like the electric circuit board or something. Our other foot soldier comes with, I just broke that. And just came outside to very cleverly slide that back in, but he comes with a pair of metal-ish nunchucks with these silver tips. These are definitely going to hurt, and an actual metal chain holding it together, so I might get some pliers later just to pinch them ever so slightly together. He also comes with this sort of metal wire pair of nunchucks with just regular black plastic. Funny thing to note though, this is different from the Michelangelo ones, because Michelangelo ones have like two little dots there where they pinch the metal in, but here it's just a smooth plastic, so I guess these already improved on the technique. Comes with a pair of these, I don't know what these are called, you hold it there and you beat people with it, as well as pretty much a black tube. It almost looks like a straw, but it's his giant bow staff. For the shredder, he comes with a pair of spray open hands, as well as a pair of item holding hands. Of course, all of his right hands are going to come with those little claws on the end. And as you can see here, they have a soft-ish material, so they have a little bit of give, but the pointy bits are not too sharp, but definitely still be careful with these, because once they snap, it's going to be a huge pain to get them to do whatever. He comes with his signature pointy double end staff, his staff maul staff, and that's painted quite well again. It's pretty much mostly just a straw, but it's painted like that. So yeah, and he also comes with a tiny dagger and a little sleeve for the dagger. So again, it's only has a ever so slightly little give. So this slides in there very easily. Just right at the end, it does have a little bit of grip, so it doesn't fall out. So there we go. Let me try plugging it other way around. Yep, that goes in there quite securely. And in order to attach it to him, he's got this fabric piece just there, which have a little bit of give. So that should just slide in just there. So now he has a dagger on the back. I'm just going to keep that there for now. With a pretty screen accurate cape. So on one side, got this nice shiny metallicness to it, and they've stitched these little lines all the way across the cape, just like it does in the movie. And on the other side, you can see it's just a black sort of plastic. On the inside, you see it's like a black, very thin fabric with a little bit of shine to it, just like in the movie. But on the top of there, just to give it a little bit more shape to it, they've clamped on a harder fabric material on the top there, just to give it some kind of a shape. On both sides there are wires going down them. Unfortunately, there's no wires going through the bottom though, which would have been really appreciated if they have that. In order to get this onto the shredder, you got these little clips there, which are just actually regular clothing clips. I've seen these in my mum's sort of like clothing, like sewing kit or repair kit toolbox. You see this huge metal thing, which is definitely wrong or wrong scale, whatever. But they get the job done, so you just sort of move this in, and it's a little bit hard to do it through the camera the way I'm sat and stretched, but there we go. And there you go, there's Shredder with his cape. And if you want to do what Tatsu does, where he just sort of like raises it and puts it over those little claw bits on his shoulder pads, you can do that. Oh, it's getting caught a little bit, but you can do that. And now there's Shredder with his cape, and put over this shoulder claw pad things. So that's cool. That works. Splinter, he comes with nunchucks like the exact same as Mikey's. A pizza slice that's the exact same as any of the other turtle pizza slices we've had before. And he comes with a TCRI can. So mine's a little bit off because this falls off. I don't think it's meant to, but hey, I can open it and pull it out if I want to do that. TCR is printed okay, but notice that the toxic thing is not printed right at all. That's messed up, so I'm gonna have to fill that in with the marker pen or something. And on the back here it says radioactive material. It's a crack on it, no glow from it, which is fine. But the overall construction of it, look at this, it's not even like straight, it's like all warped and stuff. And lots of molding lines on this. This is not a nicely produced accessory. This feels rushed and a bit messed up, to be honest. Toxic logo, whatever. And that's it for accessories for Master Splinter. So for the figure itself, they have a little word of ghost printed on the forehead there. But you can see that there, it's a little bit of white showing around the edges of the word, so that's not printed too well. Oh well. But aside from that, the eye print and the little compound eye there looks pretty nice. The details on the mask mouth area is pretty good. The overall suit design, the clothing pattern, and all the little like fabric pieces they tie on them all have very nice textures, and there's a nice wash over it. Makes it overall look pretty good. Really only standout is that leg pad there, because the black is like really shiny, so that really stands out. That's not very cool. These pads there, soft, very softish material, and get out of the way for posing. Those are great. Same on the other hand. And on the back here, this piece is on a peg, so it can rotate. That's kind of cool. So that's nice. That really reduces your risk of breaking. All the foot soldiers have this actual fabric strap going around here as well, so they can put any accessories in there if they want to. And that doesn't really slide all over the place at all, so that's kind of cool. It sort of just stays there. But from the front, it does cut into the suit design a little bit, because it's clearly actual fabric, whereas the rest of it is all plastic. But overall, the figure itself looks pretty good. In terms of articulation, the head can go that's very far down, very far up, sideways, sideways. That's pretty cool. And full rotation here. Arms just go up, clicky hinge, down, rotation there, and the suit does get in the way, but you see it is softish plastic, so you can push against it just a little bit, but I wouldn't do that for a long time. He does have a double elbow joint, but due to the mold, that's as far as it goes. And does he have that rotating joint there? Any rotating joint? No there. And it's on a peg and swivel. Torso can go back, up a little bit, sideways a little bit, and full rotation there. So he's a little bit stiff side, but I think I just loosened him so I can move. Actually a fair amount there for the stomach area. For a joint that's literally hidden, that's pretty good. Leg goes up, back, clicky sideways, and bit of rotation there. Double knee joint. Very stiff. These figures are seriously stiff when you first get them. Same with the turtles. Hinge, back, forward. Any rocking joint there? I think there is. Yeah, there is. Rocking joint. Very stiff, very stiff. And stand pegs for the bottom of the feet. God, these joints are tight. What I can tell, most of Shredder's body is the exact same as the foot soldiers, just like the cartoon Shredder has the same body as the foot soldiers, which I'm fine because they come from the same clan. Of course they have the same uniform for the most part, because his is all blinged up, I guess. Ghost inspection on the head first. My helmet's unfortunately glued on slightly off angle, so that's a little bit annoying. For the most part it's not too bothersome, but sometimes when I notice it, it's just annoying. You can remove this to show the face, so let me just do that. Come on. There we go. So got Shredder's face underneath there. Yoroko Saki. He sure is Saki. Scar mark there is pretty good. The eyes are painted shiny, so they look quite nice. And he just has a pretty neutral expression, which I'm all for. When you plug this mask on, it stays on there pretty well. This is a very good Shredder figure. Actually, now I'm thinking about this, I'm just thinking like, why hasn't Phaelus done a review on these figures yet? Because surely he would have loved these. But anyway, that knife just fell out. The helmet pattern mold there is very good, and this shiny piece does hard plastic, but it doesn't feel thin enough to be too fragile, so that's okay. These soft-ish, they have a little give, but definitely snap if you squeeze on them too much. But they're just literally just glued on there, so they're just pretty stuck there. In terms of cape collar there, it feels secure enough, and it does feel like if I do break that, I can easily sew like a bit of string in there just to tie it back up, or I can do that now and make it more secure. But let me just unhook that from now. There we go. You can see he has an extra collar piece there, which can look silly if it's in the wrong position, so just sort of rest it there. And it does have a little bit of shading there for the neck, so that's kind of cool. So a very glittery suit, just like in the movie. And some of the different circles is gone is a bit different with these claw pieces, same with the hand. And down here he also has this extra piece just on his foot. Otherwise the leg underneath is just the same as the foot soldier. You can see this is actually its own separate piece. It's not even glued down, so it can get out of the way if you need it to. Being pretty much the same figure, it means he's going to have pretty much the same articulation. Only difference is going to be things that get in the way. But you see his helmet there doesn't really get in the way at all. So up, down, sideways, sideways. And yeah, not only does this help hide the joint a little bit, it's also there just to make it, because the design is actually different from Foot Soldier and they don't have that collar, but Shredder does, so they give him that, so he has it. Is this mask going to start falling off now? That's going to be really annoying if it does that. It's supposed to plug these into his, where his ears are. That's a clip. There we go, it's in the right place now. And that's actually see-through, just like it is in the movie. So, good head articulation. Arms go up. Torso, movement, exact same as the Foot Soldier. He's a little bit loosened up than the Foot Soldier because I have posed him a few times already. So, seriously, that can get quite annoying. I have Splinter, and the head sculpt there is amazing. This looks spot on. The only thing I really wish it would have had was either a second head with the mouth open or articulation on the mouth there, which he doesn't. That's a huge shame. His fur there, very soft plastic, so that's not going to snap or break. That's good. Ears are hard plastic though. And yeah, underneath the robe, he's got the full fur treatment, so all of that does look fine. His hands are a little bit on the skeleton side, but hey, that's how he was. And the feet there, they got nice paint job on the straps there, the bandage that he puts on them, the ninja bandage, those are kind of cool. And on the back there, his tail, ugly holes there, but these are like mold injection. Let's see, he's got just a joint there, but the rest of the tail, he should have a wire in there, I believe. No wire here, so the wire starts from here, go all the way around to about there. And the robe itself looks okay, but it's already falling apart. You see all these little bits of string just coming loose. That's annoying. Like, I don't like, probably would have been better if he didn't come with a fabric robe and it was just like a part of the sculpt. That would have been better. And this ribbon there, this is really thin. I can already feel like I'm going to untie if I'm not careful. So how am I going to secure this knot a bit better? I'm going to have to like untie that and retie it maybe, just to make it more secure, because that's not secure at all. There's no wiring going through this his robe either, which I'm not too big a fan of. Like, kind of wish if there was just a wire going through down there, make it a bit better, maybe just one around the back maybe. But I'm gonna find some way to secure this robe, because I really don't want it to continue to fall apart. I don't know if I have to spray it or put a bit of glue around the edges somehow, a bit of super glue or something. If you know, feel free to leave a comment down below. But so the robe looks good, but it's already falling apart. But the figure itself, fortunately, looks excellent. You know, another thing they could have done is just gave us a soft, plasticky robe for him, like a rubber robe. That would have been better. Oh well. So in terms of articulation, he's got the head articulation. His head can look down a little bit, up a little bit, sideways, and sideways, and he's got this whole piece there to help with like neck articulation. And he does have torso articulation, right? Oh, yeah, see, it's only falling apart. I'll just retie that in a moment. So he's got a torso joint there. So that's got, I think that's a ball joint. This piece is soft plastic, so it gets out the way of the feet, I guess. So feet goes back, feet goes sideways. Bit of rotating joint there, but it's really, really stiff. Single knee joint, but he also has this foot joint there, as well as toe joint. So he's got quite a lot of articulation in terms of the feet. Rotating joint there, because that coloring doesn't quite match, but it's a tail, I guess, so that's fine. And yeah, wire in there somewhere. So in conclusion, these figures look great. The coloring on them looks very much like from the movie. The foot soldiers, the black ink, and the overall look on them are pretty nice. The only thing is that the eyes don't have any transparentness to them, but that's okay. It's more of a nitpick really. The overall articulation on the foot soldiers as well as Shredder, because they're basically the same figure, is a little bit on the tight side, but then again, that's with all of the NECA figures. But it's okay. I'd rather the figures be a little bit more on the tight side than too loose, because then you gotta have to deal with it and fix it. Whereas tight figures hopefully will loosen up over time to a more decent tightness. The Shredder figure looks great. Aside from that minor horn issue with my helmet, the overall figure looks awesome. The cape looks great, and the cape also flows very nice. As you will see in one of these photo shoot figures, the wires work great with the cape, and it just sort of flies in the air and flows. It looks awesome. Splinter, while the figure itself looks great, unfortunately his robes are not that good. they feel like they're just falling apart already. Yeah, I don't want that to happen, and I do wish that his robe would have a little bit wires in them just for different posing or whatever. And also the ribbon that ties the cloak together is a little bit silly, a little bit too big, the size a little bit off. It also feels a bit weak. I have tied it quite tight, but I'm also worried if I put too much force on it, I'll snap the ribbon, which isn't the end of the world. It's an easy thing to replace, but I don't want to do that, so I think it would be better if the ribbon itself had like a metal wire going through it too, just so it would stay more secure. Oh well. But the figure itself is pretty awesome, and the articulation on Splinter is decent enough. You can do, you know, kicks and stuff, so that's pretty cool. You can definitely do everything you see him in the movies too, because all he does is sit around and walk around, but he can definitely do a lot more than that, which is just great. Accessory wise, Splinter does come with all the stuff he needs. Shredder also does, and the Foot Soldier comes with most of the weapons that you will see in the movie, so that's pretty awesome. If NECA can eventually get the facial rights for like April O'Neil or Casey Jones, I definitely want to pick those figures up. And yeah, while the not so good third movie is out there, if they do produce figures for that with, you know, the samurai armor and stuff, that'd probably still be quite cool, but I don't know if that many people would decide to pick that up. Probably not a good idea to release those, but I'm definitely looking forward to finding certain figures from the second movie. Maybe a Tatsu figure would be cool. And as always, I will also look forward to some of the other characters in the animated series getting released as well. And who knows, if NECA can get their hands on the more modern Ninja Turtle cartoon like looks, that would be cool as well. I would love for them to produce like the 2012 Ninja Turtles or even the 2002 Ninja Turtles. Some of the characters there are kind of cool, so let's see what goes on with that. So as of right now, in terms of all of the American figure companies out there, I think NECA is the best. You get the best bang for your buck. The figures look great, there's good accessories, and it's not too expensive. And for the stuff that has human faces on them, like the Shredder here, or some of the other lines like the Terminators and Alien lines, all of them look great. And if you like horror movies, it's got a whole lot of figure there. You can have your own mashup of Freddy, Jason, and Mike Myers and all that come together. It's just awesome. I don't know how they do it. The figures are just so good. I really like them. So every time I see a Hasbro figure or a figure from Mattel, I always look at the NECA one as the gold standard. Like if you have these accessories, these articulations, great. So would I recommend this? Hell yes. This is like one of the best versions of the Ninja Turtles ever in figure form. It's the best Ninja Turtle movie out there. It's great. It might be the best version of Ninja Turtles. I love them. So personal bias aside, these are still very good figures. They've got good accessories and they're not expensive. So if you like Ninja Turtles at all, definitely pick these figures up. If you just want some random ninjas, the foot soldiers are good too. As like, you know, fodder for your other superheroes or whatnot. So that's it for the review. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, take care, have a nice day, and stay healthy and safe out there. I'll see you guys soon. Cowabunga.